Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to give you my anime of the week, of the weeks basically, since I've been, my anime of the week, it is a Netflix original called Be the Beginning. Now, this anime is interesting, because it's basically two different animes taking place side by side, that in the end have something that intertwines them, but it's still, through the course of the show, there's about 12 episodes, I believe. If I, off the top of my head, I believe it was 12 episodes. And for about 10 episodes, or 10 to 9 episodes, these two things never cross. Not really. For like 10 to 9, for a while, these two things never truly make sense crossing. But then they start to cross, and then it starts to get okay, but... So, I'm going to start off by saying that this anime, I'm going to give two different grades to. I don't do that very often. I don't do that at all. But this anime is so two different animes that happen to take place in the same space and be interconnected that I almost have to. Now, the anime follows this character named Keith Flick. He's this great, brilliant detective. He's basically Sherlock Holmes. And, he's basically kind of, think Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes. His version. You know, that Sherlock who was, off-kilter and kind of messed up and did these random things and, you never really knew what he was going to do because he's thinking so far ahead of everyone else. He's thinking on such another scale that he seems odd to other people. You know the phrase. You know the old saying. You know how it goes. The genius who's odd to normal folk because he's so smart that he can't act like normal people because he's not a normal person. And it's great. Keith Flick, his name's Keith Flick, and he's great. I love that. Voice actor does a great job. He's fantastic. One of the best protagonists I've seen in a while in an anime. In an original anime I've seen in a while, really, Keith Flick. And his half of the show, which is the main half, really, is this interesting detective show, and it works just like a detective show with this group of people who act like real people. They act like actual people. Their mannerisms, their behavior, their jokes, their thought frames. Sometimes they do little anime things, little tropey things here and there, but they're very small. They're very this has to be here because it's an anime. And that half of the show is phenomenal. That half of the show is a 9. The Keith Flick, detective work, cop work, and these detectives who are just solving crimes together, that half is a 9. It's fantastic. Those first 5 episodes for me were great. First 5 episodes of the show are great. They had me hooked. I like the character Keith Flick. I like the intrigue. I like all the characters. And they were all, and not to say, they had tropes, but they weren't anime tropes. They were classic noir / classic detective tropes, which was refreshing. I acknowledge that certain things in the show were tropes of a kind, but they weren't anime tropes, which kind of threw me off a bit and made me go, this is interesting. But then you got this other half of the show where, this kid, I don't know, who's this angel or it's some reincarnation of something such and such. He's got he flies and he fights these demons, these entities that are behind the scenes controlling things. That part, the whole idea of these people being behind the scenes controlling things could have been interesting. Could have been an interesting play. And but they just played it too anime. They should have took a step back. This show had potential to be a great show. Screw anime show. That's that's the only problem I have with certain modern day animes nowadays. Is a lot of anime just wants to be that. No, surpass that. Okay, Beauty and the Beast is a great movie. It's not just a great animated movie. And there's parts of this anime that are great. Is a great show. Period. Not anime show. But it's bogged down by this undying agenda to satisfy the mass cotton candy eating people who just want to see some random demon and deity that makes no sense in the context. It's just doing all this crazy shit because there's because there's half of this show that's a 5 to me. That's just okay. I give it a 5 because it's not completely asinine, because it's not completely over the top. It's over the top, but it's not completely like mind-blowingly over the top. It's pretty bloody. The fight sequences when they do like this over top thing with these other entities who are like behind the scenes, who are like created, like it's weird how they get into that. When they do the fight scenes, they're actually well done. They're not like Dragon Ball Z or certain animes where it's just you know it's just like I don't know what they're doing. They're just wailing their arms around, and they're in certain like every once in a while they form an actual karate stance, an actual kung fu / karate stance, but it's actually well done, except it's just weird, man. Like, it's so unnecessary. And I found myself watching this show going, this show has potential to be such a standout, such a standout show with that one half that's about Keith Fleck and the detective work they were doing and the intrigue of him. And then it had a nice twist in the end, which is why I would give the overall show a 8, because of that twist at the end that's so cop. It's so cop. It's so fucking good. Like, I just wish none of that fucking other shit was it. If none of that other shit was in this anime, it would be so fucking great. Check it out. B the Beginning. I think it's called B the Beginning. It's like B Killer. They keep calling the killer B. But I'll give you a little overview of the story, just a little line of the story, so you can, if you want to get interested. So Keith comes back to it's like this royal like detective service. Like, they're like basically the badasses of the badasses. Like, they're the detectives who solve like the worst crimes, and I can't tell if it's in Japan or if it's like an original place. They never really say. It's obviously Japan, but they never say if the actual anime takes place in Japan or if this is like some original thing. But it looks like normal Japan, so I'm just calling it normal Japan. And like, they're this unit, and he comes back to it after years of being away because something tragedy happened to him. And common detective trope too. Tragedy happens to the great cop, he leaves, something brings him back, and so forth. But he comes back to investigate this killer, the serial killer named the Killer B. Now Killer B is going around killing other killers, other murderers and rapists and killers. He's going around doing that, and they're trying to figure out who he is, what's going on. Next thing you know, the truth is discovered. It's blown up even more, and it turns out this is bigger than they even imagined. And it's and the parts of it are good. Like I said, the detective, crime, / solving murders, / espionage, trying to remember the word. I'm like losing words because I got pissed a little bit for a second. Trying to discover the truth that this is so much bigger than you thought it was. Like, conspiracy, yeah. / conspiracy theory, / like, oh, there's people beyond the scenes. Those parts are so great. But like I said, it's bogged down by this subplot, this other plot that really does not need to be like this. They didn't, and even if they wanted to execute it, they could have done it a little more subtle. But I mean, anime's not known for subtlety, but they could have done this a lot more subtle. And like, maybe I need to make a spoiler review after Seth or Mark sees anime and get their opinions on this. But this anime could have been done a lot better. With that said, I give the overall anime a 7.5 to an 8. I give half of this anime a 9.5. That detective stuff and the stuff with Keith Flick is phenomenal. But then they get into this kid stuff with this kid flying around and fighting with swords for legs and swords for an arm, and it gets super anime, and it was just like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then it's just like, dude, what is going on, man? Why is a part of half of this show basically great and the other half is just some anime bullshit, some okay anime bullshit, which only saving grace is that the actual action sequences are actually cool, but it make no sense and they don't need to be here. And that's all I gotta say about B the Beginning. Check it out on Netflix if you have it. Please comment below what you think about it, and I will see you in the next one. Everybody, please remember to like and subscribe. Goodbye, my peeps.